Okay, I'm in the second set of practice problems, and I will do all 6 of these. Okay, so for this first one, we have 3 premises, and we want to get P double arrow Q. And we don't have a biconditional hidden anywhere in any of our premises, so we're going to need to use the biconditional introduction rule. Let's take a quick look at that just to remind ourselves what it is. Okay, so here we are. There are 2 versions of this rule. For both of them, we need to have 2 conditionals, A arrow B and B arrow A, for both versions. If we have those 2 conditionals, then we can get either A double arrow B or B double arrow A, either one. Okay, so we have P arrow Q here on line 1, so we're all set with 1 conditional. And we have Q arrow P here on line 3. So we just want to get this Q arrow P on its own line. Right now, it's the consequent of this conditional on line 3. So we'll do conjunction elimination to get T. Once we have T on a line by itself, we can do conditional elim. This arrow here is the main logical operator in this conditional on line 3. So once we have the T, we can bring the Q arrow P and put it on line 5. Okay, so now we have our 2 conditionals. We can put them together using the biconditional introduction rule. And we want to have the P and the Q in this order here so that we get the exact conclusion that we're after. That is lines 1 and 5. Okay. Okay, so we want to get P and S. We have these 2 premises. On line 1, the main logical operator is this ampersand. So the first thing we can do is conjunction elimination. And we can do it twice. And we need to do it twice. Okay. So now we have 2 conditionals, and we have an M here on line 2. Let's actually go back and look at this rule. So remember, we've already used this rule, but remember that for the conditional elimination rule, we need to have something on 2 different lines. We need to have a conditional first, something with the form A arrow B, and then on another line, we need to have the A part of the conditional, that is the antecedent. If we have something that matches the form of these 2, A arrow B and A, then on a new line we can put the B part of the conditional, the consequent. Okay, so we have M arrow P here on line 3, and we have the M on line 2, so we can take the B part, the P, put it on line 5. Conditional elim 2, 3, and then we can do a similar step here using lines 4 and 5. We can take the S, put it on line 6. And now we just need to put the P and the S together using the conjunction introduction rule. That's lines 5 and 6. Okay, so we have these three premises, and we want to get not Q. So on line 2, we have a disjunction, not R or not P. And on line 3, we have R. So this is a situation where we need to use the double negation rule first, then we can use the disjunction elimination rule. So first we want to turn R into not R, dn3. So recall for the disjunction elimination rule, for this rule we need to have a disjunction, of course, something with the form A wedge B. And then on another line, we need to have either the B part with a not in front of it, or for this other version, the A part with a not in front of it. So right now, in our disjunction on line 2, the A part is not R. So we need to have not R with a not in front of it in order to use this rule. We have that on line 4, not R with a not in front of it. So we can take the B part of our disjunction, the not P, and put it on line 5. Disjunction elim, and that's going to be lines 2 and 4. Okay, so now we have not P, which is the antecedent of the conditional on line 1. So since we have that not P, we can take the consequent, the B part, which is the not Q, and put it on line 6. Arrow elim, lines 1 and 5. Okay. Okay, we want to get T and, then in parentheses, if P, then Q. All right, so one thing we need to do is get this T on a line by itself. And this sentence here on line 3 is a conditional. The main logical operator is this arrow. So if we want to use the conditional elimination rule, we need to have the A part of our conditional, the A part, whatever it might be, on a line by itself. If we have that, then we can take the B part and put it on a new line. Okay, so our A part for the sentence on line 3 is Q double arrow P. So what we need to do is use the biconditional introduction rule with these two conditionals on lines 1 and 2 and get this biconditional, Q if and only if P. Okay, so now that we have this, Q double arrow P, we can take the T and put it on line 5. That's conditional elimination, lines 3 and 4. Okay, and then last, we just need to take, well, this T that we just put on line 5 and the P arrow Q on line 1, put them together with a ampersand. Conjunction intro 1, 5. Okay, we want to get M and Q. So that means we'll need to have M on a line by itself and Q on a line by itself in order to put them together with the conjunction introduction rule. So let's see. Well, we can easily get M on a line by itself using conjunction elim, and let's do the same to get the T. Okay, now how are we going to get this Q? So this sentence here on line 1 is a conditional. The main logical operator is this arrow. So in order to use the conditional elimination rule, we need to have the A part of the conditional, which is S wedge T, on a line by itself. So is there a way to get S wedge T on line 5? Yes, there is. We can use the T on line 4 and the disjunction introduction rule. Wedge intro in line 4, that gets us S wedge T. So now that we have this, we can take the Q from line 1 and put it on line 6. 1, 5. Okay, so now we just need to put the M and the Q together with the conjunction introduction rule, 3 and 6. Okay, good. And let's see. Okay, we want to get S, and we have an S here on line 1, but it's kind of buried right now. The main logical operator in the sentence on line 1 is a biconditional, and then the S itself is actually part of a disjunction also. So let's see, how are we going to do anything? Well, the first thing we can do is conjunction elim. We have a conjunction here on line 2, so if we're not sure what to do, our best move is just going to be take that L, conjunction elim line 2. We can do the not R also if we want. Okay, now let's look at a rule we haven't used yet. Okay, so the biconditional elimination rule has 2 versions, but for both versions we need to have a biconditional, something with the form A double arrow B. And then on another line we need to have either the A part of the biconditional or we can have the B part of the biconditional, either one. If we have the A part on another line, then on a new line we can put the B part, or if we have the B part on another line already, then on a new line we can put the A part. Okay, so what we want to do is get the A part, L and M, on a line by itself. And we can do that by using the conjunction introduction rule with the M on line 3 and the L on line 4. So L and M, conjunction intro, lines 3 and 4. Okay, so now we have the A part, what comes before the double arrow, on line 6. So we can take the B part, what comes after the double arrow, and put it on line 7. Biconditional elim, lines 1 and 6. Okay, and then the last step is going to be using the disjunction elimination rule with this. We have disjunction here on line 7, and we have not R on line 5. So that means we can take the S and put it on line 8. Wedge elim, lines 5 and 7. Okay, good. We're done.